Hi, and welcome to this Nipoppy tutorial. In this tutorial, we will cover how to track the processing status of the imaging data in your Nipoppy dataset. More concretely, we will run the Nipoppy track processing command, get to know the processing status file, and explore the Neurobagel digest dashboard. To participate in this tutorial in a hands-on fashion, you will need a Nipoppy dataset created with the Nipoppy init command. You will need to have run a processing pipeline using Nipoppy process on at least one participant and have the global config file and the manifest file customized for our local setup and study cohort. If you are missing any of these prerequisites, please check out our previous videos. Also, we provide an example dataset for all of our tutorials. Please visit the GitHub repo to download the example dataset should you not have done so yet. You can use the content in the process folder to complete the previous tutorial and come back here after. Additionally, you can move the content of the extract folder to the derivatives folder of your Nipoppy dataset to have an additional pipeline output to track. Nipoppy track processing lets you track the processing status of each participant for each pipeline. The way Nipoppy tracks the success or failure of a pipeline run is by the so-called tracker files. Those tracker files basically just list common output files for the respective pipeline. Nipoppy track processing then uses those tracker files to verify if the respective files are present in your pipeline output directory. These tracker files usually list a minimal set of files and do not contain an exhaustive list of output, and one can always modify the list of tracked files if needed. Even though we already ran a processing pipeline in our previous tutorial, namely MRIQC, we do not see a processing status for this pipeline when we run Nipoppy status. In order to have the processing status recognized after we run a new pipeline or run it on new participants, we need to always run Nipoppy track processing first. When we run the Nipoppy track processing command, we need to pass the pipeline name and ideally the version of the pipeline we want to track. When doing this the first time, a processing status file is created. You can find the latest version of this file as a symlink in the derivatives directory. This file lists the pipeline status for each participant and each pipeline. Now we will run the Nipoppy status command again to see the summary of what changed in our dataset. In order to have all tracking information for all executed pipelines stored in the processing status file, you need to run the Nipoppy track processing command for each of these pipelines to update the processing status file as well as the Nipoppy dataset status. The processing status file can also be uploaded to the Neurobagel digest dashboard, which will produce interactive visualizations of pipeline processing statuses. An up-to-date processing status file is also a prerequisite for extracting IDPs, which we will do in our next tutorial. Congratulations! You are now ready to extract IDPs from your imaging data.